Hello, everyone. This is Jordan Purcell. For my sales presentation assignment, we'll be talking about the Department of Defense personnel and chemical dependency on herbal cannabis. We're going to break this down into three parts here. The first section is going to discuss introduction to the Department of Defense policy and procedure, just to make the viewer and audience aware of all the regulations that go over this policy and procedure. In section 2, it's going to be getting into the marketing sales approaches, focusing upon the stimulus response, selling formula, and the needs satisfaction customer-oriented method, as well as references and resources for the viewer to be aware of where the information came from. So according to Brady, as you can see here, substance abuse, you'll see it abbreviated as SA, among military service members has been referred to as a public health crisis. And this is despite policy set in place to curb substance abuse usage and subsequent disorders, which we will talk about. For these reasons, DoD personnel are the specific base market and target audience being reached through this specific chemical dependency analysis as an employee assistance professional within the Pennsylvania Army National Guard organizational dynamic. Regarding members of the United States Armed Forces, the Department of Defense Directive, abbreviated as DODD, 1010.4 or 1010.4 as of 1999, clearly stated in paragraph 4.8, it is DoD policy to prohibit DoD personnel from possessing, selling, or using drugs or alcohol other than in accordance with the law, regulations, and DoD directives. Although there is a co-occurrence of marijuana usage in conjunction with other substances, for example, alcohol and tobacco products, the DoD does not outright preclude the consumption of alcohol nor tobacco, assuming the service member is of legal age and intake does not become to the level of chemical dependence, whereas marijuana usage, possession, or selling of any kind is outright prohibited. Nevertheless, military service members, especially those who are college-age veterans, and those with a comorbidity of a physical or psychological ailment, are an increased risk of marijuana use and cannabis dependence. So talking about the physiological or psychological ailment, the governor of Pennsylvania, Governor Tom Wolf, signed the Medical Marijuana Act into state law on April 17, 2016. Less than a year later, on February 14, 2017, the Advocate General of the Pennsylvania National Guard, Brigadier General Anthony J. Corelli, outlined how policy and regulations continue to forbid marijuana use or possession among soldiers and DoD personnel in Pennsylvania, even though the soldier may or DoD personnel may have a prescription for medical marijuana. So the medical marijuana has been used to alleviate certain symptoms and ailments in lieu of the opiates, the fentanyl, things of that nature. However, this does come at a cost as well, as the reliance could develop into a biological or neurological addiction. There's further evidence that supports cannabis use disorders, in particular, may be associated with increased risk for suicide attempts among veterans. There's also the mild traumatic brain injury, or MTBIs, and the usage of marijuana could slow the healing time for these ailments. So as you can see, the solution to a problem should never be worse than the problem itself. That is why we're going to focus upon the Department of Defense, chemical dependency, and we're going to utilize the Pennsylvania Army National Guard substance abuse policy as we outline that, plus the three marketing sales approaches. For the audience's situational awareness, this is the Pennsylvania Army National Guard substance abuse policy updated as of 6 March 2021, which outlines what we had seen in DODD 1010.4, as well as the guidelines for ensuring that soldiers are not using chemicals. They don't have chemical dependency, which also includes THC, marijuana, be it medical or non-medical. So focusing first we're going to look at the stimulus response sales approach. This approach uses psychology and human conditioning to appeal to the customer. Much like Pavlov's dog, the conditioned stimulus is the product or service which is presented to the customer. The conditioned response is how the customer reacts to the product or service in a natural way. The product or service appeals to the customer, so also in that natural way. We have the canned presentation, scripted dialogue, presented to the potential customer using rehearsed stimulus to elicit the response we are looking for. And this is found in Berkowitz 2017 on page 496. In this case, the customer we're going to be looking at is going to be the soldier who does not know about the substance abuse policy, the Army drug testing policy, utilizing the unit urinalysis. So the first category of customer or soldier is the soldier who doesn't know about the policy. They'll be made aware that the substance abuse will not be tolerated in the PA Guard, as well as the ways to eliminate such dependence on these chemicals, drugs, alcohol through drug detection, unit urinalysis. So that is the stimulus that we present to the soldier. Other things that may be asked are, you want to be a good soldier, don't you? You want to be an effective member of a team, right? The military always talks about unity and uniformity. This is seen in the warrior ethos. As you can see here, I uses the term I will, I will, I will. So the soldier will respond as such. Seen also in the soldier creed, I am, I will, I always. So these are the stimuli that are present on a regular basis to the soldier, not to mention the Army substance abuse program. So this falls right in line. The soldier responds with recognizing the maintenance of high standards of performance and military discipline. They'll respond with, I am a good soldier. I am an effective member of a team. I will show my unit I am willing and able to uphold the Army standards, which also includes the drug testing program, now that they are made aware. The canned presentation here is the commander's briefing, which outlines what the expectations are of the soldier, what the Army expects of that soldier, as well as how the testing will be conducted. It also asks, are there any questions? Getting into the selling formula, we're going to be looking at a different customer base here, a different soldier base. But before we get into that, we'll discuss what the selling formula is. The selling formula is a more flexible approach as compared to the stimulus response approach, which has a more rigid, the more canned presentation. This is a little bit more flexible. This approach offers a product or service to meet a customer's needs using the AIDA, the AIDA model, where there's attention. The customer becomes aware of a product or service. Customer shows interest, curiosity, and they seek out information, desire. So the potential customer desires to purchase, but action does not yet take place. They know that this is something they want. So when they take action, the potential customer becomes an actual customer when they decide to make that purchase. Again, this can be found in Berkowitz 2017 on pages 496 and 497. So in this case, we'll be looking at the soldier base of soldiers who do know the Army substance abuse policy, but they don't wish to comply with that policy for whatever reason. They feel that this is something that they're disinterested in. Despite being in the military, they don't want to adhere to the standard. So similar to the prior stimuli that we had seen, the attention needs to be made for these soldiers. They need to know that substance abuse will not be tolerated in the Pennsylvania Army National Guard, as well as the things that will occur if they are in fact using substance abuse in the military, which includes evaluation and processing for administrative separation. Gaining the soldier's interest, military service members who receive positive urinalysis resulting from any persecution for 1 year. This actually coincides with the Brady Bill. So not only is the soldier facing an administrative separation from the military, which may not be under favorable conditions, they will also lose out on some of their rights as a result of it. And it is clearly spelled out here. So that is one thing that can gain the soldiers' interest is this transcends more than just the military, that this goes into their civilian life as well. So here's kind of a turning point where the soldier desires now to to be counseled, disciplined, and then they can come around. They can become aware that there's regulations, there's DoD directives, and after knowing what they are facing. So now the action is as such. So the administrative actions will take place, and the soldier will be placed into a rehabilitation treatment facility. They will get the care they need. Or, as we can see here, service members either conform or they'll be separated from the military, and that separation for substance abuse does carry the Brady Bill, not able to purchase firearms, not able to own firearms, not able to buy ammunition for 1 year. So looking into the needs satisfaction customer-oriented model, we'll look at a third group of customers as well, third group of potential soldiers. So focusing first on the market-oriented um, customer service needs based model here, there's three facets to this. The first is needs development. So first, the agency and the customer must identify that there is in fact a problem. There's something that a solution is needed. The needs awareness, this is where the customer needs mirror the needs of the salesperson organization. So they need something, we can provide the remedy for that. They have a problem, we have a solution. Needs fulfillment, this is how the company meets the needs of the customer. As stated, problem, solution. Berkowitz 2017, pages 497 and 498 is where this information is found. So this group of soldiers here are the soldiers who know the policy and the soldiers who know that they are demonstrating that substance abuse, high risk behavior, they need help. They're seeking help. So where the two agencies align here, the needs awareness is in conjunction with the Army Substance Abuse Program. Drug abuse is inconsistent with Army values and readiness. So as we've seen, soldiers uphold the values, they want to be ready, and they're coming forward to meet that readiness. Needs fulfillment is where the commanders and the Army Substance Abuse Program provide an opportunity to retain soldiers and actively seek treatment. So get those soldiers better. Again, problem, solution. So found within the Army Substance Abuse Program is the limited use policy. So the big takeaway here is a soldier comes forward before they are found to be having a substance abuse disorder, cannabis use disorder, and they're able to avoid the separation from the military because they are doing the right thing. Now, again, this isn't to avoid disciplinary or adverse administrative action. This is a soldier who is genuinely needing help. They want to come forward. So they admit they have a problem, the Army has a solution. As you can see here, the Pennsylvania Substance Abuse Program is an official command-sponsored program whose goal is to assist PARNG soldier readiness by providing a continuum of substance abuse services focusing on assessment and prevention. And these will not interfere with the military at all, the military mission. This is to get the soldiers better. We've retained this, we've recruited the soldier, we've trained the soldier, we want to retain the soldier because we've invested all of that time and money and effort and resources into them. And again, they want help, we want to provide that help to them. Some of the information for the Army Substance Abuse Program, there's phone numbers there, broken down between regions, as well as some additional points of contacts, and you can see my information on there as well. So concluding with the some scripture here, when Apostle Peter told the Christians in tells the Christians in 1 Peter 5:8 to be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. So that is the New International Version. DoD personnel need to be aware of cannabis use disorders, substance abuse, substance use disorders. There's a reason why such policies and procedures exist to protect the military, to protect the soldier, and marijuana, as we've seen, clouds judgment. It can cause dissension among the ranks, and as much as there is some benefit to it, there's also significant negatives to it. At the end of the day, it is unlawful for use in the Army, specifically the Pennsylvania Army National Guard. We need to make sure that soldiers get the help they need, the behavioral health services, to make sure that they're not trading an addiction for another, and there is no long-term bodily harm, for readiness, and we can continue to have them serve diligently within the military. Here's a reference where you can see all of the information was pulled from, and that is my presentation. Thank you for your time and have a wonderful day.